I want to talk a little bit about my approach to evaluation and evaluation design. Evaluation is near and dear to my heart because I really believe that it's not just a one-time event or a single deliverable. It's really a living life cycle within your organization. And it's also our organization's way of storytelling. And storytelling is the biggest mode of ways to affect change, one of the biggest ways to affect change in my mind. And so it's one of the most important things that you can do for your organization is to invest in your evaluation infrastructure. So I really like to approach the life cycle of evaluation as a systems architect, like I do all of my work. And I like to think about how every element from the historical information that you can get about the organization to the final report, impact report, that eventually your evaluation efforts will get you, impact the questions that you ask and how you ask them and when you ask them and who you ask them and why you ask them in the first place, right? So we start with discovery, where we like to really dive deep into the historical context of the organization, how you've evaluated in the past, and understand exactly what you're trying to measure and what you're trying to claim as your output. So using systems design, I like to build a developmental framework that's really agile enough to learn and pivot as your project grows in real time and as we receive feedback about the evaluation and how it's being conducted. And throughout the cycle, we implement what I like to call learning loops. So these are consistent check-in points that we utilize to refine our operations, refine our questions, and keep them aligned with the purpose and the why of the evaluation. So the core of this process, of course, is all designing for impact evaluation. So with impact, we're really zooming out to analyze whole systems change. And this really goes beyond just counting the outputs, how many people attended your classes, these kinds of things. It's more about measuring the ripple effects of how your work actually moves the needle on the cultural change that is the vision of your organization. So specifically, we're looking for what I like to call long tail impact. So that's the sustainable outcomes that are going to remain and flourish long after the initial project period or the funding cycle has ended. And this life cycle really concludes with when we do a strategic handoff to you of our work. So after redesigning or designing these things to really measure these changes, we use these tools to translate that impact into different reports and roadmaps that really make the case for your next phase of investment and set you up for really implementing the changes that your evaluations are suggesting might need to be implemented and changed. So by managing this full cycle, we love to transform your data into a living tool that changes with your organization. We'd be really excited to support you in this.